All right, guys, let me go ahead and spill some tea for how you can tell your customers what you're doing without actually being a process prisoner and having to constantly re-explain whatever it is that you're doing. This concept is very unique. I rarely seen anybody operationalize it, and this is actually a big deal, guys. This is the big deal when it comes to when you start talking to different people, and sometimes they ask you what exactly are you offering. And granted, if you ever get to that point, because in many cases many moms don't even get to that point of people actually expressing genuine interest in whatever it is that you're offering. But granted that you got there, which is, if you are at that point, this is phenomenal. I want to congratulate you and say you are a true superhero if you manage to get to this level. But if you are getting, let's say, some customers, some leads, some prospects coming in, and you're constantly having to re-explain things multiple times, then there's a solution for that. As I talked about last time in my video on TikTok, I talked about a very interesting concept of using Family Guy style of cartoon to go ahead and explain whatever it is that you're offering. The use cases are absolutely insane for this. There's many use cases out of this. Before using the family style cartoon type of explanation of my services, what I would be doing is I would be using Notebook LM. So granted, Notebook LM, you could use Notebook LM to quickly just throw in a bunch of stuff and send it over an audio file to the person who is listening. This way they quickly understand what's going on. Granted, sure, this is a great way of doing it. I took it to another level. I made it super easy. As part of the way it works is I have a spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, I specify whatever the topic, whatever the pain point, desire, etc., all that filled out, and the whole thing gets created and sent out automatically to the customer. So I got to that point, but then I was like, man, you know what? It's still not really good enough, because this is Google Notebook LM is not necessarily, it's just two people talking, and not really, you don't see anything, any interactions, you don't see any kind of a video that reinforcing your brand, and you don't really see any captions. I mean, you could have captions, but it's not like you don't have control of how you can put this package everything in a theme. So obviously that wasn't a big problem for me, because I thought, why not? Notebook LM, I could use that. But what the bigger problem was, how do I do this at scale? How do I do this at scale in a way that I could create impact, in a way that I could actually get views and followers and whatnot? How do I do this? And of course, picking up on trends is great. If you use like something like Family Guy, sure, people quickly will relate to that. But what kind of people? Well, remember the saying, target audience is audience? Remember that saying. What kind of people? Who are my audience in my particular case, guys? Obviously, Bougie Boss Moms are my primary core audience. But who do they care for? Their kids, pets, cats and dogs, and their husbands, right? Or their spouses, right? So the question is, how do you do this at scale? How can you take this concept of creating those videos automatically across multiple platforms based on your life? How do you do this? And that's exactly what I did, guys. I managed to operationalize this whole concept of integrating my everyday life into just those Family Guy style podcasts that can easily be blasted across socials, not only manually but automatically as soon as the entire topic is done, and it's all controllable from one spreadsheet. How crazy is that, guys? So I've been getting incredible results, guys, on YouTube. Remember, people will gatekeep the heck out of everything for you, guys, and you won't know what is working or what's not working. You'll be just chasing tails. Trust me, guys, trust me on this one. But if you can solve this problem of being able to explain whatever it is that you're offering to people in a personalized way, in a style that is trending, that people can quickly relate to without you being a process prisoner. This is huge, especially if it's all on cruise control, and as soon as the video gets done, boom, it just gets blasted across socials. What exactly am I doing with those videos, guys? Obviously, in my particular case, guys, I have, community, multiple communities, 3 communities. One of them is FUD, the other one is Freedom Fusion Path, the other one is Freedom Fusion Land. And obviously, I have products of my own, ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle. I have services, personalized automations like Freedom Fusion automations. I have SaaS that I'm reselling, Freedom Fusion System. I have Feudal incubators and Feudal Kingdom Academy, coaching programs. So I have many different digital assets that needs to be constantly promoted at a hyper fast speed, using different types of formats, using different types of trending variations, and it needs to be done in a way that it's literally in a way that it attracts people and connects other coaches to the system, to this Freedom Fusion system. So this way, whenever they're ready to do the workshops, they just update the spreadsheet, and the Family Guy style cartoon does the work for them. And not only does the work for them, but literally promotes it across socials with content, description, everything, and funnels people to the funnel, to Freedom Fusion system, to the actual Freedom Fusion Flip workshop that gets delivered by those Feudal hustlers that are part of my coaching programs, the Feudal incubators, that are part of the Freedom Fusion Path community and Freedom Fusion Land community. The very same Feudal hustlers that are helping Bougie Boss Moms get to freedom faster. The very same Feudal hustlers who are giving the tokens of opportunity to grow the Feudal kingdom together, helping other Bougie Boss Moms grow their Feudal kingdom, convert $1 into 3, all those style of then following the entire Feudal system in this Feudal incubator coaching program. So keep some in mind, Feudal incubators, guys, are part of Freedom Fusion Path, and of course you guys already know that. But also for Bougie Boss Moms who don't necessarily care about learning anything, they just want fully blown systems available for them that either A, their own virtual assistants can use, or B, somebody they could squabble up with. And that's exactly what my Freedom Fusion System talent agency does. We provide trained threats stackers to the Feudal Lords. That's basically what we do. We provide trained threats stackers to the Feudal Lords. I know there's this whole protests going on. There's no kings allowed or anything like this. But we're talking about Feudal Lords, guys. We're talking about the concept that existed for many, many ages in ancient Japan during the world of feudalism, where those Feudal Lords would be riding around and giving the feudal share to the workers, and they would be cultivating the land, harvesting that land, and be very happy with it. This worked for many years. When I saw that, I was like, how come right now we're doing only capitalism? Why can't we do this? And I reincarnated the feudal system framework into this app called FUD, and it worked. I'm not paying any money for any freelancers or anything like this. I'm literally following the feudal system framework, where I reflect, learn, execute, mentor, squash atomic habits as I do so across multiple platforms. And process, other feudal hustlers are growing together with me, leading the micro influencers, the threat stackers, the threats hustlers. There's so many names for them at this point, depending on which feudal incubators they joined, but leading them to freedom and helping the Bougie Boss Moms, the Feudal Lords, grow their feudal kingdom too, with those systems like ThreadsBot's cartoon, like ThreadsBot's themes, ThreadsBot's quotes, ThreadsBot's stories. All of those systems combined together to help Bougie Boss Moms grow that feudal kingdom. And of course, Bougie Boss Moms are one type of category of Feudal Lords, guys. So hopefully this makes sense for many of you guys. Hopefully it makes sense. If it doesn't, join my community. I'd like to clarify it